Absolutely.
Oh, man.
Oh, okay, so go on then. You were saying. I'm sorry.
Right, gentlemen. Good evening and welcome, one and all. It's another edition of the Liverpool edition of FTB Sports. Here with myself, Mr. Article Lee. We have the cop artist. He was a regular. He's back with us now. He's returned. Glad to have him back. Our own cop artist, and we have our very own Mr. Comedian Jeff Schumann, Mr. Don Barnes.
John Barnes magic.
How are we doing? How are we doing, peoples?
Yeah.
Thank you very much, gents, for allowing me to never walk alone, but to be amongst family, because that's what we are. Klopp is top of the shop. I mean, we really, we're hitting the heavy heights right now. And if we can just keep on Chelsea's coattails, great result for us today. I never thought I'd ever be happy about a Man United draw. But it's only 2 points now. We're away from Chelsea. We're still in touch with them. We don't have their finance. We don't have their revenue. But I tell you what, it's just a wonderful time to be a Liverpool fan. Wonderful. Right. It's always been a great time, but it's wonderful. I remember the dark days of Houllier and some of the awful Benitez times and the last season of Rodgers. So this is absolutely superb recruitment. Far away, Alvin.
He said I love the passion. And Benitez, and you left out Hodgson.
Yeah, you left it.
Why would you want to swear on this podcast? One of the worst 7 months. 7 months. One of the worst 7 months in the history of our great club. And you just had to swear. Do you want me to come off?
Sorry.
Do you want me to come off? Brought Joe Cole. Should have left him on the dole. Awful. Awful. Roy Hodgson. Awful.
Right. Cop artist.
Yes, mate.
What do you think of that lineup then?
Yeah, I was actually somebody asked me that on one of my lives, and I sort of predicted pretty much what we lined up with. The only one I didn't expect was Konate, and I guess the reason why he put Konate in was to save Matip for the Everton game.
Yeah,
that's my thinking of it. Obviously, Everton better than Southampton, posed maybe more of a threat, especially with Richarlison up front. So, he can deal with him. Not a problem. Southampton haven't got much up front. So to bring in Konate gives him a little bit of extra play time, gets him more used to the way that we play. He did look a bit out of sorts at the start, but it was a solid attacking lineup.
Yeah.
Nice to see Thiago back. Nice to see Henderson back in midfield. Both did a great job yesterday. So yeah, I was pleased with the lineup.
Okay, Jeff.
Yeah, absolutely. Simicat, the new guy at left back, I feel for him because Andy Robertson, for me, is currently in the top 3 left backs in world football. Thiago, he's had an injury time at Liverpool, but now I understand what all the fuss is about. The way he passes it, a bit like Firmino, can look one way and send the ball the other way. And for that third goal, look at the feet, the speed of the feet from one to the other. He's another great Klopp recruitment. And Trent's back to his very, very best. So I was happy. But I always feel with Liverpool, we always need a second goal because we're always susceptible to a counter-attack. So when we were 1-0 up, like against Brighton, when we were 2-0 up, I still was worried. Yeah. When we were 1-0 up against Southampton, I'm still, even at 2-0, if we go 2-1, I think we get jittery. No disrespect, but Liverpool need 3 goals. 3 can become 5. We always need a second goal, and we need to get it and then kick the opposition out. Because if we go 1-1, teams don't fear us in the same way at the back. But yeah, I was happy with the lineup. I watched the game yesterday. Happy with the early goal. Mane's now decided that he really will put in a shift, not worry about whether he needs to try and top what's happening with Mo Salah in contract talks. So I'm really pleased as a Kopite. The goalkeeping recruitment was fantastic. I just think that can we please just make sure, because Everton aren't turning up anywhere. Let's really go there at Goodison and put them in their place. Because they will try and they will fight like there's no tomorrow for bragging rights. We need to go there and make a complete statement.
They won't play like they did today.
Definitely not.
Absolutely. That's my point.
We all know this already. Form always goes out the windows when it comes to derby teams, yeah? So regardless, form goes out the windows. It's your local derby. They're going to raise their game. There's no ifs or buts. No ifs or buts. Yeah, for me as well, I think I was a bit surprised that Konate started. I would have probably had Matip in there as well. But for me, gentlemen, the one I'm talking about now is it Firmino or Jota? What do we do?
it's great to have the luxury of both because Firmino comes deeper, causes more problems. I mean, look at him at Old Trafford. Everyone was like, I was like, Mane not playing. I stood next to Copites, and we were like, he's an idiot. The first time I've ever used that term. How can you not play Mane at Old Trafford? Really? Really? Yeah, no. Firmino still wins the war for me. I still think it's Firmino, Salah, and anyone from two. And I love Mane, believe me, but Firmino is really, when he's on song, he's unplayable.
Mm-hmm.
He's unplayable in that hole, coming deeper than Jota. Jota's wonderful. Yeah, another great recruitment. But my personal perspective, I mean, look at Joe Gomez, what he must be thinking from England international to not even make squads right now because of an injury on England duty. Yeah. I personally think Firmino plays. That's just me personally. Salah always has to play. But for me, Firmino plays.
Okay. Kev?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, Jota, great signing, scoring goals, assists. But for me, it has to be Firmino. Firmino's always been one of my favourite players. The way he plays, the way he reads the game, the space he creates for Mane, Salah, and anybody coming from in behind. He does so much more for that team than other people actually realise. And they look at him and go, well, he's not scoring enough goals.
Yeah.
Okay, he doesn't score lots of goals. What he does do is he creates space, he creates goals.
100%.
And without the space, you ain't going to get the goals.
Yeah.
So for 100%. Me, on playing ability and knowledge and understanding of the game and the reading of the game, it has to be Bobby.
100%. Well, I agree with what you're saying about he creates space and what that people don't look at all the hard work that he does. They just think he's a forward. Yeah. He should be judged on goals. He's not a natural striker. And this is what people...
No, he's deeper than that. He's better than that as well. I agree.
He's better than that. But what I also think what we have to look at is as well is maybe they play against certain teams. How certain teams are set up. Maybe I might use a Bobby. Then maybe I might use a Jota. You have to look at it against different teams. And I think that's what maybe Klopp is trying to do now. And use them sparingly as well. Because when you look at it, once again, injuries are hitting us.
Yeah, and at this time we're better equipped. I've always when Trent got injured 18, 19 months ago, Trent was our best midfield player for at least 3 or 4 months. He was magic going forward, striking from outside the box. He gets that injury, and he's out. And then also we had the problems with the centre backs. But now, I mean, look at Keita. Loads of us were like, I mean, Keita, really? Look at the way he started the season with those volleys, the performance at Old Trafford. But what Klopp has made sure he's gone and done is, he spent 35 million on Konate, and he's saying, look, no one's guaranteed a place here. A bit like Pep with Sterling at Man City. If you don't like it, it's up to you. But no one's... Whenever Shaqiri played, never let us down. But don't get a chance to play. Look at the important goals that were scored by my guy in the European Cup final and then when we beat Barcelona.
Origi.
Yeah, he's 26 and he's made very clear. When their man go off to the African Cup of Nations, then you get a game. But other than that, these are the front 3/4, and you're behind them.
Yeah,
that's proper man management. That's proper.
You got a point to prove.
Absolutely, I think Thiago, because we hadn't seen him. I think honestly, to yourself, Alvin, and the cop artist, I think Thiago is absolutely wonderful.
Oh yeah,
what I've seen so far, absolutely a magician with the ball.
Yeah. Definitely. For me, his talent was never in doubt. It's just his consistency. It's like same thing like with Keita as well. His talent's not in doubt for me. It's just his consistency. But I am hearing in a few of my groups that I'm in, people are saying, cut your losses now and get rid of Keita. And I'm like...
No way. No chance. No. 27, 28, you got Fabinho who's doing wonderful. See, the great thing about now is that because we've had the injuries, we couldn't cope last season. Now there's injuries. It's like everyone, like Ian Wright said on Match of the Day, everyone, and Shearer, everyone who comes in at Liverpool, they know their job. I would never, 3 years ago, I would never have been the first person to say, we need Henderson in the midfield. Henderson's fantastic right now in a Liverpool shirt. The running, the tracking, the movement, beautiful.
He doesn't get enough props from me, man, Henderson. He doesn't.
He's wonderful. Look at the ball at Old Trafford for the 5th goal. Like Ian Wright said, if that had been De Bruyne, you know what I mean, we'd be having kittens.
Yeah, they would.
We'd be having kittens about it. Absolutely, Henderson.
And Klopp has really bought it. It was nothing as well.
Yeah,
he just did it
Yeah, there was no effort to it. It was just first time.
Yeah, but I also like him. Beautiful. He is a leader and he drives the team forward. The team will see his movement and his running, his hard work, and they will follow. I do like him for that as well.
Yeah.
I think. Can I tell the two of you that I'm really desperate for? I've been watching the transfer talk for 2 years, and other Liverpool, other Copites are like not too sure, but a lot of us at Old Trafford, they kind of agreed. I'll tell you something now. I know that he's done very well by bringing in Salah, who didn't really get given a chance at Chelsea. He went to Roma, proved himself. 75 million on Van Dijk. I fancied my granny. I was like, why are we spending that kind of money on a bloke who did well in Scotland and was okay at Southampton? So when it comes to Klopp's shrewdness, I just keep my mouth shut and bow. But I'm telling you now, for me, there's one piece of the jigsaw that for me is still missing. You guys might think I'm absolutely crazy, but I'm telling you now, with Klopp's style of management, if the boy from Wolves, Traore, comes to Liverpool, I believe it will take him to another gear.
No,
I absolutely love him to death. You see, people look at me like trust me, when we bought Salah, people were like, well, even when we bought Mane, it was like, well, all right, Southampton, 30 million, are you sure? Traore running with the ball, Klopp type tactics, 27. You got to remember, Firmino and them are getting older. Salah's 29. Mane, 28, 29. Traore, 26, 27. When Klopp said last year, at times, he was unplayable. Remember, Klopp hasn't had a chance to coach him, Alvin.
Yeah, no,
when we bought Salah, I was like, I remember him at Chelsea. I don't watch Italian football. So I was like, well, he better do something. Look at when we bought Mane, Cup artist, I was like, really? And all the big fuss was made about Van Dijk. Van Dijk now is worth 100 million. And he's been with us for nearly 3 seasons.
And the rest.
Yeah, and the rest.
Well, that's my point. I'm telling you, trust me.
And add maybe another 300 million.
I'm telling you, if Traore comes to Liverpool, you watch what Klopp does to him.
For me, the jury's still out.
Watch.
The jury's still out.
Unplayable in a Liverpool shirt with the style of football we play, pressing and fast football, and the way he runs with the ball. You have to remember, Alvin, when we went to Wolves a couple of seasons ago, that's the only time I've ever seen Andy Robertson need man to stand in front of him to help him out. He absolutely was terrible. Klopp said after the game, there were times when he was unplayable. Remember, that's one of the most elite coaches in the world. Described him as unplayable. He's been chasing him for 2.5 years. And now we might get him for 30 million. I'll tell you both, gents, now, I will argue with anybody, that could be the best signing Klopp has ever made with the way that Liverpool play. Yeah. Henderson could go to another club. It wouldn't be as good. Tell you that now. Firmino might go to another club. It's the style and the manner of which Jurgen Klopp organises his team. And I'm telling you, Trent on the right and Traore on the right, they're saying, well, if Firmino plays, it's any one of three. It's Mane, it's Salah. And obviously with what our guys doing from having come from Wolves and Jota. I'm telling you, gentlemen, have a look. Go on YouTube. Have a look at Traore again. He scored a goal last season in the Europa League against who won it in the end? They beat Man United 2 years ago. Actually, it was Sevilla. I think it was their third time of winning it. He's on the edge of his box, Alvin. He just turned and beat about 5 men. I kept going. Can you imagine that in a Liverpool shirt? Coached by Klopp. Coached by Klopp. Forget what's happening at Wolves. I've got no interest in that. I'm just saying, coached by Klopp.
Yeah. Then you're gonna end up having to move Salah, and you don't want to be moving Salah from where his position is.
I don't care. Salah's getting cheeky. What's £500,000 a week allegedly? And if you know what, you don't threaten Liverpool Football Club.
Oh no, they won't go above and beyond what they want to pay. They will not be held to ransom. That's all. Yeah,
let him go. In a year and a half, if he wants to go, he goes. I don't care.
If that's what you want, then we're not prepared to pay that. So go to where somebody that will, because not one man doesn't make a team.
Definitely not.
It's like a corner, you can't cross it to yourself, can you?
No, exactly.
The thing is though, if you look at Liverpool and our structure, can you imagine if any of us two or three, if I was Sadio Mane and I'm on say 200 grand a week, you can't be telling me Salah's worth twice my wages. If you're Virgil at the back, you can't be telling me that he's worth double. Yes, he's very important to the side, but everyone's important to the side. That's why I'm saying you bring man like Traore in fighting for places. Look at the new left back. Never heard of him. 7 minutes. Never ever heard of him. When Andy Robertson isn't playing, Keys is great.
Yeah.
A lot of this is brilliant.
Yeah, a lot of this is the agents as well. Agents are trying to boost up prices. You know what they do, and they're saying, look, if you go elsewhere, you can get more money, blah, blah, blah. So this is what you should be asking for. Now, I believe that they're asking for that. Hopefully, they'll get in the region of like 350 or something like that, 400.
Yeah, this is fair enough.
But then Virgil's going to have to go up as well because he'll demand it.
That's right. And so will Mane.
I think it's actually, from what I read, is something's written into Virgil's contract that he is to be the top earner in the club.
Or commensurate. I remember Arsenal had that with Tony Adams. Tony Adams said that when David Seaman signed, they had to increase his money. Now, that's not great for dressing room solidity, especially if you are Mane and you had 3 good seasons at Liverpool. Yeah, and you are a good part of the glue. You're Jota, you're new there, you've done very well. But so if you're 150, you're glad you've come away from Wolves and you're glad you might win something. But you can't play with Virgil. Probably the best defender in world football, right?
Oh, without a doubt.
Captain the Dutch side. And if Salah wants to know what it's like, take a fall from grace, all you've got to do is take a look at Sanchez when Arsenal conceded he wasn't going to sign a new contract. Pep wanted him. Man United offered him 100 grand extra a week. Well, where is he now?
Yeah,
even the talent to try to get rid of him. So that's what Salah needs to take a look at. You're being coached by an elite coach. Lukaku had to go away and reinvent himself. You know, Tottenham are struggling, and so are United because of the hangover of Mourinho, an analog manager in the digital age. And that's the reality of where it's at now. We have an elite manager who has taken 30 million buys and turned them into 90 million buys. We can't do what Man City do. If the back 4 are bad, we can go out and purchase a new set of 4. We don't have that kind of money. So it shows you just how wonderful a job that Klopp has done. And look at Gigi Wijnaldum. Can't get a game in Paris.
Yeah.
But they offered him, remember, I think it was 8 million signing on, and he's on about 200 grand a week. If you're 30 in the twilight of your career, you're going to make a move. And Messi hadn't arrived yet, but he can't get a game there.
No.
So be careful what you wish for. When you're at Liverpool Football Club right now, Liverpool must give Salah extra. I do agree with that, gents. But you cannot break the bank. Because if I'm if I'm Sadio Mane, I'm telling the cop artist or article my agent to go in there and say, you got to give me another 25%.
Yeah, 100%.
Have to.
Just going to quickly say good evening to Reese and good evening to Solo. Good evening, guys. Thanks for having you on board. Nice to have your watching ears and that, mate. Lovely, lovely, jubbly. One thing I will say about that game against Southampton, as you did mention, Jeff, earlier, about being 1-0 up or 2-0 up, they still had chances. And had that been a better team, we could have been in a better team. And I thought that, for me, when, like you said, Kev, they haven't got much up front. I thought that was very slack, to be honest, with the chances that they had.
Yeah.
Very slack, Kev. What do you reckon? What do you recommend?
Definitely. I mean, I was at the game, and you know, I could see that, you know, although they didn't have much up front, firepower wise, skill level wise, they did create a few chances. Now, whether that was because we were pushing on and just creating that space at the back for, you know, a longer ball or whatever. But they had chances, and obviously, if it wasn't for Ali making a couple of good saves, like he always does, you know, man on man. I mean, he's world's best at that. He just seems to be able to read the player, what he's going to do, where he's going to try and put it. You know, we shouldn't be that slack at the back. Not when you consider what defence we have. You know, when we've got Robbo, we've got Van Dijk, the best, in my opinion, the best defender in the world. Konate, who's got an absolutely fantastic reputation. But you know, it was his side of the pitch where they had the main chances, unfortunately. So is it him not being quick enough? Is it him not reading the game better? That's going to come in time. But you know, we can't afford to give these chances away, not to, you know, the likes of the top 5-6 teams in the
Well, we were lucky. We were lucky.
Even to teams like Brighton.
I was just Kev put the words right out of my mouth, Kev. The Brighton game, I had my hand in my mouth the last 5 minutes. We could have lost the game.
Yeah, exactly.
See, you know, we will always present teams with an opportunity to score. That's why our front 3 or our Fab 4 are so important. We get into a 1 or 2-0 lead. It's very, very important because teams will always, because we play a higher pressing game. Trent is wonderful, but again, that left-hand side, which would be his right, they'll go down there, and then all of a sudden someone's broken through and they got a chance. And Alisson has to come out and save us. So we're not susceptible or fallible to breakaway chances. We are wonderful on the top part of the pitch. Our movement and passing is as good as anything in world football, but we are susceptible at the back. And I don't know, because at the same time we want Robertson and we want Trent to bomb up the pitch and play like wing backs, which is great. We know that Van Dijk, you can't beat him 1-for-1, but remember it's Van Dijk +1 at the back. So it's a question of Gomez, it's a question of a new signing, or it's a question of Matip. Is there anybody better out there? If there was 2 Van Dijks, I'd find just to win a quadruple, but there isn't. So it's what do we do? We got Everton. Copites are telling me, Benitez is fine, is getting his just dues and all that, and I'm saying, look, right now I'd have to take a 1-0. It's about keeping it on the coattails of Chelsea. I've never ever wanted Manchester United to draw a game in my life. Today I didn't mind. Today I didn't mind.
Now I wanted a result today. To be fair, just
not win. Definitely not win. A draw is fine.
Chelsea. Yeah, I was happy for that. I was happy for that 1-1. Trust me, I was happy.
Remember, we still have to go to Chelsea this season.
Yeah, that's right.
We still have to go to Man City.
Yeah, that's right.
So I think we have to. It's very important, gents. We still have to go to Highbury or the Emirates, but
don't worry about
it. Depends. Agreed. But for 30 minutes. But for 30 minutes, they were okay. Liverpool are a great counter-attacking side. So when we go to the places like, apart from when it's at the Etihad, because that's a different brand of football, we're very good. The way in which we play away from home. I don't know what happened against West Ham, but we're very good because of the front three and the speed at which we attack. But we've still got to go to Chelsea. And I'm like, yeah, we can go to Chelsea and get results because of the way we play. At Man City, I'm like, well, I'll take a draw now.
We gave 3 goals away to Brentford.
Yeah.
There you go. And Chelsea should have lost, but Chelsea got the result. Yeah. That's the point I'm saying. Look at today. I didn't because I hate Man United. When Chelsea equalised, I was happy. Then I've heard from the message boards. I watched most of the game. What's his name? Jorginho. Apparently Chelsea could have won it right at the end. I didn't see it. So
yeah, Rudiger.
Did you see it? Is it as bad as they're saying?
It's still travelling now. The ball's still travelling now.
That's on its way to the moon.
Look at
they should have scored.
Yes.
Are we saying he should have scored?
100%.
Yes.
100%. 100%.
Well, a draw, Kev. A draw, Arts, was the best thing for us because we were 2 points off them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? West Ham for 15 minutes today when I watched that game, the last 15 minutes, I was praying for West Ham to get an equaliser. When the second City goal went in, I thought, wow, I can go and run a bath. And then it was 2-1 final score.
Yeah.
As Jamie Carragher said, we just need to make sure we're losing 2 valuable players in January.
But
we just got to make sure.
But are we? Because nobody.
I hope not, Kev.
Huh? Oh no,
I hope not, Kev. I'm praying.
My point
I'm praying.
With this whole fucking
COVID thing.
With the whole COVID thing, nobody knows whether this AFCON's going to carry on.
Yeah. I hope not. Terrible thing to say because at Morocco now, I ain't having no one come in there. And then what Liverpool should be saying, we can't risk our players to go and play. I'm not sure what country it's in this year.
They are looking to move it. That's what I heard. They are looking to find somewhere to host it. They still want to host it.
I hope so. Do it next November. When the World Cup's on. Do it then.
They are still looking for somewhere to hold it.
Do it in the summer. That's what they're going to do.
Who was your man of the match?
That's a toughie. That's a toughie.
For me, Marnie was wonderful. He was involved in everything. But I have to give it to Andy Robertson. Up and down that left, the way he played. I know Jota got the 2 goals, but Andy Robertson, I'm yet to see him have a bad performance in a Liverpool shirt 3 years coming from Hull, the way he has.
I'm struggling to disagree with Andy Robertson because that was.
I mean, when he came on in midweek, okay, he was like a red rag to a bull, wasn't he? I mean, he just came on there and wanted to prove something.
That's right.
Prove he was the best.
Yep.
Okay.
That's right.
And you could see that in the Southampton game. He was there. He was no messing about, up and down the line. He was fantastic.
Can't get past him.
No,
wonderful,
fantastic. So I would agree with you on that one, Jeff.
And who do you reckon had the poorest game there? Who was the donkey of the match?
What? Who
was the donkey?
We very rarely have those in a Liverpool shirt. I can't even use the word donkey really, We've got rid of Andy Carroll, so I can't use that term anymore. There aren't many in a Liverpool shirt that I can say don't wear it with pride. I think
the only one that I would maybe pick out would be Konate.
Maybe because he's not versed.
Yeah, he wasn't in the right positions at certain times.
Yeah, I'd say I'd definitely say he was about a 5.
Yeah,
that was the lowest mark I'd give any one of the players. To be fair, to be totally honest,
I agree. I like Oxlade-Chamberlain. I really do. You know, occasionally he gives the ball away, but you know what? When it's on the edge of the box, driving forward, he's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
striking that ball.
He played really well when he came on.
I love him. I think Oxlade-Chamberlain is proper. You know, but if you go back 20 months ago when we were dealing with City in the Champions League, both of those guys, he was the man. Yeah. And he got injured. He was in the England side as well. He was the man.
Yep. Can he stay fit?
Well, let's hope so, because you know Fabinho's back. Who knows? All I know is that right now we're using our squad and bringing in players. And apart from the West Ham blip, where even Origi scored, we are 2 points behind Chelsea, who spent 3 times the amount of money that we have spent. Man United have spent the most, and we are 2 points behind them. What does that tell you about Jurgen Klopp?
There you go.
Sensational. Our recruitment.
Our young lad Morton, lads.
Yeah, he's. That's what I was about to say. It's not just about the players that he's buying in. You know, for 30 million or whatever. He's starting
the academy as well.
The academy players. Tyler Morton was, you know, the few games I've seen him play, he's done exceptionally well, and he's just going to grow and grow in confidence. And you could see that, you know, in the Champions League match that he played. You know, he's been sort of a bit of a sort of bright spark, really, and it gives us another player in midfield, and we can pull in if we need to, even if it's just you know, we're 2 or 3-0 up, and just bring him on and give him a bit of confidence, give him a bit of game time, and he can build on that you know, for the future.
What do you think will happen at Goodison on Wednesday?
I think we'll just hammer him, to be quite honest with you. I really do.
I really pray we do, because honestly, we've got to keep on Chelsea's coattails.
I think they're going to put up a sterner test. Like, what they're going to do is they're going to be a lot better for like about 20 minutes to half an hour till the first goal goes in.
Yeah.
And then once we get that first goal, I think that's what we're going to reign. I think we're going to get about 3, to be honest.
I'll be happy with 3.
I think it'll be
I don't know, because Benitez knows Liverpool. Benitez might put 11,000 in midfield, stifle the game, bore the pads off everybody, like he did with us. 2 trophies, 2 cup competitions in 6 years.
He's secret agent Benitez. Like, you see what he's doing to him right now? He won in 7 games, mate. Secret agent. He's a mole.
Like Redknapp, we went from Portsmouth to Southampton. Agent Harry come across. Yeah, it's the football we're playing, the football we've been treated to for the last 3-4 years. Because after Brendan Rodgers, when Klopp came and said, I'm the normal one, I'm like, well, because you did it in Germany, your 3rd season there, or the 4th season, they were like near the bottom of the table. Can you come to Liverpool and sustain it? He comes in, and no disrespect, gents, and I know we're all Koppites here. When Sadio Mane was bought, I was like, Kev, 35, what? What's all that about? 33? When we bought Salah, I was like, what? What's going on? By the time we bought Van Dijk, shut my mouth. Alisson and goal coming from Roma. I know we needed another keeper, because any one of us 3 could have played in goal. But look at the keeper, Alisson. At the time, I didn't know nothing about Pat's best in the world and blah blah blah. I was like, who's this now? So in Klopp, the recruitment, I know he chased Fabinho and he got him. He chased Keita and he got him. So he knows what he's looking for. What Klopp is saying, I'm after a particular type of footballer.
Yeah.
And if he comes from the academy, or if he comes from, we have to go and buy him or her in, he is basically saying, you fit my style. And I'm telling you now, Klopp has been looking for Traore for 2.5, 3 years now. Trust me, gents. I know it's hard to convince Liverpool fans. When we first got Salah, everyone was like, well, why are we spending that kind of money on a bloke who didn't do it first time round? No one's saying that now. If Traore comes to Liverpool, I promise you, I will pick him up from the airport and carry him on my shoulders to Anfield. That's how much I'm saying. Coached by Klopp. I don't care what he's doing right now elsewhere. I'm talking about coached by Klopp. That's the difference.
Okay.
No,
that is the difference.
Yeah, it's a massive difference.
Coached by Jurgen.
It would have to.
If you saw that goal, and you remember that goal, Alvin, that he got in the Europa League, into the box, that's playing for Wolves. That was being coached by Nuno. We're talking about Origi. Origi can leave Liverpool, go and earn money elsewhere, yeah? And I guarantee you, he's not going to have the same kind of impact. I promise you. As a goal scorer, that's why West Ham were like, well, but 30 million, really? You know, and I look at what's being done right now with West Ham solo striker. He's playing for Jamaica now. Superb. Antonio's superb right now. And the way Declan Rice and the way West Ham are slicking the passing. I like West Ham. I like what they're dealing with. But I'm just saying, gents, I'm saying Virgil van Dijk, £75 million. I was absolutely having kittens. Because I'd seen him play at Southampton. I couldn't understand what all the fuss was about. What did you both gents say 20 minutes ago? 100 million and the rest. If Traore comes to Liverpool, and again, you might fall off the sofa right now. We might even end up forgetting about Salah. That's how good this kid is. Unplayable. Klopp said unplayable. Unplayable.
He loves Traore, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'm telling you. I think he does.
Telling you. I've been screaming for him. Get him in a Liverpool shirt. Get rid of Origi. No disrespect. Let Origi go. Get 15 million for him. Add that to whatever, because they're making that Traore's got a year and a half to go, so it might be next. It might be 25 million. Remember, it was 70 million before COVID. That's what they're asking for. And it was rumored that Barcelona were going to pay 60, and then the crash came.
Yeah.
Get Traore, but trust me, gents, get Traore into Anfield. And I eat my words. I'm telling you,
get on the phone to Klopp.
I've told Jurgen, but he's not sure. He's told me I've got to wait. He'll have another word.
So, just before we go, gents.
Yes.
We are looking at Everton this week, yeah? So, before we go, predicted score, Kev?
3-0.
Jeff?
I'll take 3-1 or 2-0. 2-goal margin.
Okay. I'm saying 3-0. I reckon. 3-0. I'm going for it.
We have to score first, and we have to score again. But I tell you, we score early. The longer the game goes on, with them little bonikas, with the negative football they play, they'll equalise. That's why I'm saying we need to go. We need to score twice.
They'll never
Keep them at bay.
That's right. It doesn't matter because we'll score 3 times instead of twice.
Right.
We'll score 3 times.
Well, I hope so. Well, just as long as we do.
Right, gents. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, gents, for the invite.
We will
appreciate it.
Look out. Remember to share, like, and subscribe, and we will look to try and be back probably on Wednesday if we can do a preview show for the Everton.
Yeah.
All right.
Superb. Thank you very much, Kev. Thank you very much.
No problem, Jeff.
You're welcome, man.
You'll never walk alone, gents. Ever.
Take it easy.
Take it easy, pal.